Hello, everyone. Happy end of 2022, beginning of 2023. Cami, I'm really excited. With me is Cami Eakins, CEO of Career Path Services. And today, you have a message, right? End of the year message for listeners, correct?
I do. Happy New Year to you too, Doug. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to do what is now turning into an annual follow-up on my word of the year, and to highlight a couple of podcasts that I'm hoping our listeners can go back and listen to if one of their resolutions happens to be self-care in the new year. So in 2022, we did an episode called Hope versus Optimism. And I shared with the listeners that hope was going to be my word of the year because I was feeling a lack of hope. So the update is this. I have retained hope and optimism throughout 2022, through the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs that have come with the year. It's still not where I'd like it to be, but I do think that it was a really good word for me to focus on in 2022. So here it is, big drum roll. My word for 2023 is start kind. And I have been listening to Michelle Obama's book, The Light We Carry, and in it, she talks about what it means to start kind. She talks about starting kind, beginning with ourselves, and then extending that to others, recognizing that we each are enough as we are. There is so much in our world that says, or makes us think that we aren't enough, starting with our own self-talk. I'm not good enough, fill in the blank. And so if we start our year with the premise of starting kind, then what could it look like if we start with kindness for ourselves? And then we extend that kindness out to others in the world. That if we reached out and approached ourselves every morning and the people that we come into contact with using her phrase, unfettered gladness. What if every encounter with yourself in the mirror or others that you meet in your work or your day-to-day or your kids or your spouse or your significant other, what if you greeted them with a big smile and unfettered gladness to see them? I think if we all were doing that, what a wonderful world we could be a part of. So my closing thoughts are around this. Giving kindness costs nothing but time and effort on our own part. Also, starting kind means that we start with ourselves. And self-compassion is simply giving the same kindness to ourselves that we would give to others. So I think that for me, I'm going to try and remember as I go into 2023 to start kind. And that means starting kind in the morning to myself when I get up and I greet myself with unfettered gladness. When I do the same for my loved ones and my coworkers and the people that I see on the street. I also just want to say thank you for your time and attention. There's a lot of things that can distract people during the course of a day or a year. And so thank you for listening to The Dignity of Work. I invite you to revisit some of our past episodes. Episode 87, Hope versus Optimism, that was last year's, and there's still some really good tidbits to carry into the new year. And then of course we did a couple of podcasts with Coach D where we talked about the importance of self-care. So we'll put those in the comments or in the link them anyway in the post for this podcast and invite you to check them out when you have a minute. So with this, my final thought is this: seek beauty, keep hope, and give kindness. Happy New Year.